Hope you can see this. This was the last quote I was working on. It was for a baby gift, a surprise baby gift. So I tried to get it done as soon as I could so that I could give it as a gift last weekend. So this is what it looked like. So I had to take pictures of it because, you know, I don't have it. So I wanted to show you that. And there's another close-up, if you can see. So it turned out pretty nice. I also got this one finished, the Bee Quilts. I don't know, do I have it upside down? No. Okay, so here's the Bee Quilt. I did finish it. I put a little gray flower. It's like a tiny little flower in the gray to match the rest. And there's gray in the center of the quilt, so I thought it would be kind of nice to bring the gray out. And then there's the back. It's totally all bees. So this is the center. And that's also a gift. So now I am working again on the sunflower quilts that I had started earlier. I guess it was in the spring, before I started those baby quilts. This is the back side of it. So that is where I am at right now. And I will tilt my camera and show you a little more quilting. So I do quilt with my other glasses because I can see a little better close up. But I'm going around each of these flowers. As you can see, I did the center one already. And I don't know if you can see here, all I did here was draw stripes with a ruler, and then I quilted it in black thread. So the thread really doesn't stand out as much. It's not as noticeable. I don't know. I kind of do like the thread standing out so you can see the lines in it. But yeah, since I did it in black thread, it's not quite as noticeable. This I'm doing in white thread, so it stands out, you know, a little more. So I have done that a lot with my quilts, just changing the thread color throughout the quilt, because I don't know, I just kind of like to do that sometimes. Sometimes I'll make it a brighter thread color if I want the pattern to stand out. Like if I would have drew a pattern in here, which I still might do crisscrosses or something, then I might do like a white thread or something that'll stand out instead of matching it with green. But yeah, that's I do that a lot, change out the thread color. But I'm just working on this. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments and then I'll get back to you on your questions. But the couple that are having the baby this past weekend that I gave that little jungle quilt to, they were thrilled. And plus her mom made her a quilt too, so that made it even nicer, because hers was more of a bigger quilt, like a crib size, or maybe a little larger than that, like a toddler quilt bed size. So that made it nice, so she can have one as she gets a little bit older. Sometimes I get knots in this thread. I don't know why, they just knot up. So you take your needle and put it in the little loop where it's knotted and pop the little knot out. It pops out pretty easy. But I get a lot of knots in this heavier thread for some reason. So we had a lot going on this summer. I haven't made any videos for a few weeks because I've been so busy trying to get things done, especially those 2 quilts. I was sick also for a good month, so I didn't make any videos. Summer's always harder to do videos or make time to quilt even, but I forced myself to quilt, you know, make time to get it done because it was a short time period that I had to get it finished. I could have, I guess, took more time and not hurried to get it done and then just send it in the mail, because I've done that before. But we were going to the shower, and so I wanted to give it to her at the shower. Sometimes on these little designs, I only take a stitch at a time because it's hard going around each of these little leaves, and so I just do 1 stitch at a time because it's easier on my hand for one, because I've been having a lot of tendon issues with my thumb area. So when it's a smaller area and if it's curved, a lot of times it's just easier to do a stitch or 2 at a time. Some of this is hard to pull the needle through because there's like, this is the ditch area, and so there's more fabric here because of the seam line. So it makes it a little bit harder to get your needle in and out through. Okay. Got this done. But I do have another quilt that somebody asked me to finish that was, and I think I mentioned this before, their grandparents' quilt, their grandmother's quilt, and she didn't get the batting in the back on it put together and quilted. And it is a fabric that I don't normally work with, which is polyester. The whole top is made of polyester fabric. And, you know, people quilted with what they had back then, so it's a pretty old quilt. And it's still in good condition, the top. I just need to put a border on it because there was no border. And then I'm going to quilt it. I'm not going to hand quilt it. I'm going to knot it with like knotting thread. So I will show you that when I get to it. But as far as I might start working on it before I get this done. But if I don't, it will be in the winter. It'll be my winter project. So she gave it to me earlier this year, and I haven't had time to do anything with it because I was doing the other quilts. So here we are in July already. Half the summer's over. And it's been hot, pretty hot, but it's been okay. We've had a good breeze here, and yesterday we got some rain. I think today we're supposed to get more rain. So this is a bold hand quilting thread. Different ones have asked me what type of thread I've been using for quilting, and the little sticker came off, but this is the thread I've been using, and it is called a bold hand quilting thread. And I might have another one with a label on it. Here we go. Okay, if you can read that. It says bold hand quilting thread over here. So that's the kind I've been using lately. I do use regular thread, hand quilting thread, which is, I have this. I mean, Coats and Clark's also makes a regular one, but this is just a regular thickness. So it's not quite as heavy, so it doesn't stand out as much in the quilt. I mean, it still stands out, but the bold hand quilting thread is more, little more noticeable. That's all. So it depends how much you want your stitches to be noticed, or the fact that it makes the pattern stand up more. Sometimes I feel. So I don't know. I just kind of like using it a little more than the other thread. Plus, I think it's stronger so that it doesn't break as easy. I've only just started using the bold hand quilting thread in the last few years because I never noticed it before when I went shopping for thread until, you know, a few years back. So I don't know how new it is. I never really looked it up, but I feel like when I started quilting, they didn't have that kind of thread, which was about 40 years ago. 38 to 40 years ago. So it's been a while. So here we are at 12 minutes again. I like to shorten up my videos, as you know, so that they load faster, and also so I don't bore you to death with a long drawn out video. If you don't have a lot of time to sit and watch a video, it makes it nicer. So I feel like I can give you short amounts of points or information, and you don't have to sit and watch a hour-long video. But if you just have time for a 12 to 15-minute video, then that works out, because it works out on my end too, because I don't always have a lot of time to sit and make an hour-long video either. So, yeah, I do like to shorten up my videos and keep them around 12. Sometimes I've done a little bit longer, 15 minutes or so, but nothing usually longer than that. So, I am going to say, keep quilting and have fun doing it, and you guys have a good day. All right, bye.